Well, hello there, people in the and hello again. I'm TheMBmulti. Welcome to part 43 of My Doki Doki SNAFU. Yeah, we are continuing with the Rika route on routes. Stepping outside, I don't see Rika anywhere among the other runners. That's odd. I wonder if she's gonna be late. Not letting this thought plague me for too long, I head towards the track to begin stretching. With practice beginning to wind down, it doesn't appear the beloved team manager has any intent of gracing us with a presence. Yo, Ark. One of the second-year runners whose name I don't know approaches me. Oh, hey. Did you need something? Not really. I was just gonna ask if you knew where Rika was. Sorry, but I'm afraid not. Ah, no worries then. Is something wrong? No, not at all. She told me to help update the list of runners who are planning to compete at the next meet, but I guess I can just send her an email. I see. Well, I guess I'm gonna head to the locker room. You coming? In a moment, I was gonna rest my legs for a while longer. Oh. Is there a reason you're always the last one who comes inside? Not exactly. Just figured taking things slow would reduce the risk of overdoing it. Well, you take this stuff pretty seriously. Guess I should expect as much from a senpai. Ah, well, something like that. They walk away, leaving me with more time I have to wait for the locker room to fully clear out. What? They walk away, leaving me with more time I have to wait for the locker room to fully clear out. Yeah, okay. Ah, there's the locker room. Entering the room, I'm relieved to see my stuff is all that's left. This is short-lived though, as I soon hear footsteps coming down the hall. Did one of the runners forget something? As I'm thinking this, the door swings open to reveal Rika. We stand staring at each other for a while, which normally wouldn't be an issue. But wow. But considering I'm wearing nothing but boxers and socks at the moment, the atmosphere feels slightly different. Triple dots. More dots. Like what you see? Idiot! She slams the door while yelling this at the top of her lungs. I slide on my pants and button up before calling her back in. Pervert! Who says something like that? You really do want to get reported, don't you? Pardon me, but weren't you the one who strolled into a guy's locker room without so much as a knock? Well, yeah. But still, when a girl walks in on you changing, you're supposed to get embarrassed and try covering up or something. You seem to have the gender roles in that scenario a bit confused. Ah, my bad, let me try again. I meant to say, sorry for feeling comfortable with my body in the presence of the opposite sex. That's not an apology. Jeez. She stands by the door fuming while I pack my belongings into a bag. Anyway, did you need something or were you just wanting to peep? Can we just drop this? Yes, it was my fault for not knocking. But Christ, would it kill you to act like a normal human being for once in your life? She lets out an angry sigh before returning her attention to me. Anyways, I came here looking for you, so I guess this works out. Looking for me? Yeah, you got a problem with that? Can't say I do. Just wasn't expecting your confession to happen after such a bizarre situation. Confession? Pfft, yeah, right. You really think someone in my league would be the one confessing? I only came here to tell you that the perfect opportunity for you to pay me back has presented itself. Pay you back? Yeah. Remember when you emotionally battered me while destroying my hopes and dreams? The recovery of which ain't cheap, just so you know. Not sure saying you suck at motivating people amounts to all that, but fine. Assuming I'll play along, how do you plan for me to restore you? Restore? I'm glad you asked. Your eyes begin overflowing with malicious intent. My dad is gonna be out of town until tomorrow, which means, ta-da, you get the pleasure of buying me dinner. Dinner? Yep. And don't even think about refusing. There's no way you're getting off easy after crushing such a pure and maidenly heart. Seriously, that's all you want? Huh? In that case, sure. Buying you dinner wouldn't be a problem. Even though she seemed to have all the confidence in the world when she asked, this doesn't appear to be the answer she was expecting. Wait, are you sure? You really don't mind? I was honestly expecting your request to be a lot more convoluted, so yeah. If buying you a meal is enough... square us up, then I'm willing to play along. Were you hoping I'd refuse? No. I just thought you'd be a bit more difficult. Well, unnecessary complications aren't exactly efficient, and I hate the idea of being indebted to anyone for any reason. Even ridiculous made up ones, apparently. Right. I mean, of course you'd want to. It's not every day a cute underclassman asks you to buy her dinner, after all. I suppose that's true enough. So, did you have anything specific in mind? No worries. I've got everything totally planned out. Then if it's not a problem, I'd like to go home to shower and change into something more socially appropriate first. Sure. I still gotta change out of my uniform too. She steps out into the hallway before glancing back at me. Keep your phone on, okay? I'll send you a text about where to meet me. Will do, Miss Manager. Great! See you later, Ark. And in a flash, she has disappeared from sight. I should get going too. Wouldn't want to burn all the daylight. Fresh out of the shower, I step into my bedroom to find my phone vibrating. Hiya, this is Rika. Here's the address of the place I want to eat at. Got it. I'll start heading that way. Okay. Or whatever. I remember this place. I ate here with Monika. And in other mods too. Following the directions on my phone, I arrive at a small restaurant with an outdoor dining area set up out front. Hey. Oh hey, her casual clothing. More yellow. I see Rika standing up from her seat and waving her arms at me. Looks like she has about as much social etiquette as I imagined. Yo, long time no... Took you long enough? Did you have trouble finding the place or something? Not quite. The fact I'd be taking a train caught me off guard, and I ended up being late to the platform. A train had just pulled out of the station by the time I arrived, which forced me to wait for the next one. Huh? Oh, my bad. I don't know where you live, so that happening never crossed my mind. I'm stunned as she suddenly bows her head. Rika normally isn't the type to be apologetic like this. Maybe she's sick. No worries, I'm the one who should apologize for making you wait. And who knows, play your cards right and you may just find out my address one day. Yeah, I imagine I'm better off without that information. Good point. So how did you learn about this place anyways? I know the area pretty well, because my grandmother lives near here. She's also the one who first brought me to this restaurant. Judging by your reaction, I'm guessing you don't come out this way very often. Not that I blame you, there really isn't much here. Yeah, I know. My character always bashes this place. She looks around while whispering. Well, the literature club came to this town during Golden Week for a festival, though we didn't visit this area specifically. The literature club? Why choose a festival here of all places? Wait, don't you hate crowds? Why'd you even come with them? Would they have feel bad? What the fuck? Would they have felt bad about leaving you out or something? That's a lot of questions, but I'll do my best to answer. Yes, the club. Or the club. Yes, the club. Because our president said this area wouldn't be too crowded. Yes, and because I was respecting the wishes of a friend. Probably. Huh? A waitress approaches our table as I finish with my string of responses. Hello, my name is Ao. Or something. Ao? And I'll be taking care of you two this evening. Pulls out a rifle. Or a silenced pistol. First, what can I get you to drink? I'll have a water. Same here. Very well. I have those out for you in just a moment. She leaves some menus on the table before walking back inside. Something funny? I regret asking as Rika looks at me with eyes full of mischief. She was pretty cute, don't you think? That depends on if you're trying to entrap me with a loaded question or not. Entrap? Jeez, you can be such a kidder sometimes, Mark. Ugh. So, what do you think? Is a girl like her your type? Did she look like Yuri? Is her behavior similar to Yuri's? Because then yes. Do you really want an honest answer? Of course. Tell your big sis Rika everything going through that cute little head of yours. This is definitely a trap. And does she know the older sister routine doesn't work when you're a year younger? Well, I like women who are willing to work. Not because they're more dedicated? Nope, just wanted someone who can support me for when I become a stay-at-home husband. Scumbag? Perhaps, but that was only partially true. I had no intention of saying anything to activate your trap. Jeez, are you still hung up on that? What's wrong with asking my senpai about the kind of girls he's into? Coming from you, a lot. Tss, you're no fun at all. Never said I was. The waitress returns with our drinks, not long after Rika's failed impromptu interrogation. Are you ready to order? Yeah, I'll have She stops herself after glancing at me. I'll have the salad, please. Okay, and for you? Given all the running I did today, it wouldn't be a bad idea to get something high in calories and protein. I'll have the steak, please, medium well. One salad and one medium well steak. Alright, I'll be right out with them. There's a brief moment of silence as the waitress leaves our table. However, not much time passes before Rika begins fidgeting in her seat, with her gaze shifting from the menu to her clothes several times. You look nice. Huh? I said you look nice. That's the dress you bought during our shopping trip, right? Perhaps it's because I've only ever seen you in uniform, but dressing more femininely or whatever, like this really does suit you. She looks back down at the clothes she's wearing before beginning to shake her head. Nice try, but you should know girls like me aren't that easy to win over. Though keep the compliments coming and I might just consider letting you become my errand boy. Oh, aren't you underestimating my value? What makes you say that? Shouldn't someone who can leave you blushing and speechless with a single compliment be considered a bit more important? I wasn't blushing. That's true, you weren't. But only because you still are. Huh? She quickly brings her hands to her face. After realizing the truth of my words, she turns away from me. Jerk! I just don't wear clothes like this very often, you know? It's probably not very surprising, but I'm more of a tank top and sweats kind of person. You're right, that isn't surprising, which makes me wonder why you'd bother dressing up to come here. Well, doesn't this place kinda seem classy? Wouldn't we stand out so much if I looked like I just came from a workout? Fair point. Increasing the chance of someone approaching you in public is never a good thing. Hey, you're probably doing those people a favor by being ignored. She lets out an awkward laugh after getting this jab in. Listen, about what you said earlier. It's fine if you were just being nice, but do you really think these clothes look good on me? Her face grows even redder as I give her a once-over. Yeah, fashion is by no means my strong suit, but that outfit gives you a sense of, I don't know, beauty maybe? Again, this may be because I've only ever seen you wearing a uniform, but wearing more feminine clothes fits your figure rather well, honestly. Figure? She looks down before quickly covering her chest. That's not the kind of feedback I was looking for. She really has no idea how to take a compliment, does she? Guess I shouldn't be too surprised given her tomboyish aura. That's nowhere near what I meant. You can rest assured that the size of your chest is ultimately inconsequential to me. Her pausing is short-lived as we're interrupted by the waitress returning with our food. Here you go. We both say our thanks as she lays the 2 meals on the table. Not long after she leaves, I notice Rika picking at her salad with an uneasy expression. It's not the face of someone who enjoys eating vegetables. Between ordering food she doesn't want and the anxiety she had about wearing a dress, there's definitely something strange going on. Getting involved in personal matters isn't really my place, but still, I'm gonna ask her about it. Not a big fan of salad? Huh? Her genuine surprise makes me think she doesn't realize how easy she is to read. What makes you say that? Aside from the disinterested look on your face and the fact you've been eyeing my steak like a starved predator, nothing really. Well, I don't really like salad. No kidding. If that's the case, then why'd you order one? You don't strike me as somebody with a pressing need to diet. Wouldn't seeing a girl order a big steak like yours be kinda weird? Hearing her say this is enough for me to put the pieces together in my head. I see. Did you wear those clothes for a similar reason? She nods. Correct me if I'm wrong about this, but did you come here with the intention of appearing more ladylike than you normally do in day-to-day life? Another small nod. Mind telling me why? Well, I don't really have a good reason. But seeing everyone on the team treat me as another one of the guys... Actually, it's not just the team. Things have been that way for a long time. So I brought you here hoping I'd be able to appear more girly. Guessing I wasn't very convincing though, since you called me out on it. Well, I'll admit to thinking something similar when we first met. But what made you want to suddenly have this test with me? Well, it's a little embarrassing. Sorry, you don't have to answer. She shakes her head. There was a guy in my middle school. I don't really know much about romance or any of that stuff, but I think I had a crush on him. We both played soccer and I got to know each other pretty well through it. But one day when we were hanging out, he said he liked spending time with me because it's just like talking to one of the guys. I didn't know why at the time, but hearing that really bummed me out. When I got into high school, I was hoping to change that, to dress and act more like a girl. But then Uncle Taki asked me to be a sports manager and I sorta just fell back into that same rhythm. I'd mostly forgotten about that happening, but now whenever I'm around you, she freezes. Me? Nothing, never mind. I was just spacing out a little. Right. Phew. Anyway, thanks for telling me. I feel like I understand you better now. Huh? Picking up my knife, I begin cutting into my steak. Sorry if my advice is unwarranted, but I actually used to know someone who was in a similar situation as you. Seriously? Yeah, while the circumstance may be different, they were the type of person who was easy to label. What did they do about it? Not much, honestly. That's not very helpful. True, but they did offer me a piece of advice once. It's simple, they said. Just look around until you find someone who hasn't put you in a box. A flash of pain grows through my chest as I recite these words. A box? What does that mean? Basically, trying to change yourself for other people will never lead to happiness. Your best bet is to find someone who accepts you for who you are. I know it sounds corny and cliche, but that person's advice has never steered me wrong before. She stares at me silently for a moment before beginning to grin. You're right, that does sound super cliche. But I can't really argue with it. So, Mr. Relationship Guru, how do I go about finding this special someone? Unfortunately, there's no good answer for that. But we should begin by not having to limit yourself. Limit myself? Once the piece of meat has been sawed in two, I slide my plate towards the middle of the table. Here. You can have half. Huh? You end up being hungry later if all you do is peck at that salad. The steak isn't huge, but this much should at least hold you over. Are you sure? I mean, you're the one who ordered it. No worries. I no intention of giving it away for free after all. Huh? She watches as I drag her salad bowl closer to the center of the table. I need to eat more vegetables anyway, so I'll take half of this in exchange. But don't think this means you can just skip out on the other half. Your diet will be shot to hell if all you do is eat meat. Yeah, since when did you turn into my dad? Well, somebody has to have some sense around you, or else there is no telling what kind of trouble you'd cause. Guilty as charged. We both take a moment to let the food digest after finishing our meals. While doing this, I notice Rika glancing back and forth around the restaurant. Looking for someone? Huh? No offense, but you're not exactly subtle. Did you perhaps see someone you know? No, not exactly. Whoa, hey! She leans forward before speaking in a soft voice. It's just, when people see us sharing a plate like this, you know what they're gonna think, right? We were hungry? No, you moron! They're gonna think we're dating. Well, the name calling felt unnecessary, you may have a point. Those two people who are roughly the same age eating at a restaurant together must be a couple seems like a natural assumption. Your weird robotic tone aside, I'm glad you're socially aware enough to understand that much at least. So what, you're keeping tabs on everyone who notices us? Would having strangers think we're dating really be a problem? I swear. Would it kill you to act a little flustered? Guys are supposed to get nervous when girls bring up stuff like dating, right? According to who? Shoujo manga? I see. Perhaps if I were in my underwear again? No, don't even go there. Sorry I brought it up. While she's cutting me off, I can't help but think more about our current situation. Even though she doesn't seem all that socially adjusted herself, she may be able to clue me in on these sorts of things. Hey Rika, do you mind if I ask a question? Geez, you always have to ask while looking so serious? Apologies, but I'm afraid my off-putting isn't... I'm afraid my off-putting isn't something that can be easily changed. Which is a damn shame. Just kidding. So, what's on your mind? What is it that makes a couple? A couple of what? Sorry, perhaps that was too vague. I meant to ask what makes two people a couple. You mean like dating? Yeah. She stares with obvious distrust for several seconds. Before I answer, this isn't some trick question, is it? I'll seriously never forgive you if you're just messing with me. No worries. I'm looking for a genuine answer. You must be really clueless to ask something so basic. Perhaps. Well then, allow Love Master Rika to bestow her infinite wisdom upon you. She does a grand gesture as though she was a magician about to perform a trick. A couple is made of two people who enjoy spending time together and want to be involved in each other's lives. Of course, they usually feel differently about their partner than they would a normal friend. And what? There's more to it than that, obviously, but those are the basics. Basics is an understatement. A celibate could tell you more than she just did. There's a reason you look so annoyed right now? Not at all. Tell me, did you receive this wisdom from manga as well? Hey, don't go trashing shoujo just because you're clueless. Is that even how you pronounce it? Shoujo? Shoujo? I don't know. Shuyo? Shoujo? Sounds like a name, Shoujo. Shoujo. Well, that is the name of the main character from... Oh, what's that movie called again? A Silent Voice, I believe it's called. Shoujo is the name of the guy, right? The main character? I don't know. I believe it is written without the U. Like S-H-O-J-O, I believe. Well, with Latin letters. She leans back in her seat while wearing a mischievous grin. So, I bring this up anyways. No offense, but you don't exactly seem like the kind of guy who cares about romance. Saying I don't care isn't quite right. It's more like I just don't understand the nuances. The nuances of dating? What do you mean? For example, I was thinking, why aren't we a couple when other people doing the same thing as us are? My words seem to have struck a nerve as Rika's face goes totally blank. What do you mean? You mentioned how a couple is made of people who enjoy being around one another, right? Well, there are days when you can be overbearing. I wouldn't say I dislike our time together. The feeling has to be mutual between the two parties involved, but even then. She stares at me wide-eyed as I continue talking out loud. This goes on for about a minute before she finally manages to squeak out a line. Do you see us as a couple, Mark? My answer here could drastically change the relationship I currently have with Rika. Well, yes, because we're going for the love ride right now. Her jaw practically drops. Given my feelings towards our time together, the idea of actually dating seems rather enjoyable. Then again, my idea of a couple is still quite warped. How would our interactions even change if we did advance our relationship? She doesn't come across as a girl who likes being clung to and doted on in the same way Sayori does. She watches silently as I once again get lost in thought. Looking up, I see her red face slouched over and fidgeting anxiously with her fingers. It's getting late. I really should get going now. Oh, right. See you later! Oh, that was me. See you later! She darts out of the patio area before I'm even able to say my farewells. That's strange. Though she did talk about how bringing up dating can often make people embarrassed, but to think I was strong enough to make them flee the scene completely. Well, I guess she never has been the most composed person. Thinking this, I paid the bill for our food before beginning to leave. Yeah, hey, if you weren't dating, you need to pay your bill. Alright, and we're back at the track team. Well, we'll see how she responds in the next episode. See you later, Romans. Well, then.